I have clicked the record button. Yo, what up? Everybody at home, everybody over on YouTube. I have with me a special guest, Barrett Bryant of the playtest slash design team. We record top 8s, so if this is your first UniVersus video with me, because of critical stuff, go check those out. But we are going to be doing a bit of a full set review for the Heroes of Exandria set that is coming out here relatively soon. March 7th. Isn't that correct? I don't have a yeah, March 7th. You can find your local game stores and all that jazz. We've done a couple of previews here on the channel, but this is going to be literally, we are doing 211 cards. We are talking about them. We were doing something before this, and Barrett was like, hey, do you want me on for the review? And I was like, that'd be very, very fun. So Barrett, thanks for being on, man. It's very cool to have you.
Heck yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm not gonna ramble about all the I've known these cards for a long time, obviously, but I'm more excited about genuinely your opinions, what chat thinks of these cards, how successful they think they're going to be in the format, and yeah, I can give a little bit of insight on how I also agree and or disagree with those ideas.
Yeah, and so if you're in Twitch chat, I'm going to be putting up a small poll on every card of do you like the card, yes, no, or meh. Please feel free to 1, 2, and 3 in chat. Give your opinions and thoughts on the cards, as I know that UVS employees do watch these videos and see the feedback here of how cool or rad or awesome they are. So here's the goal of the videos. I'm going to be splitting this up into a ton of different videos, and they're all going to have the same intro. We're going to run through all of the Air, Chaos, Earth, Fire, Life, Order, Void, Water attuned cards. From there, we're going to go to the Infinity / multi-symboled cards. From there, we're going to do all of the ultra rares and then all of the secret rares. And so with that, let's get rocking. So we're just going to move straight on to death. Arcane Spellbolt 3/4, 4 high for 3, 2 low block, range spell, blitz, seal a ready foundation in my stage. This deck is +6 damage, X equals the difficulty of the sealed foundation. This art is great. Love Ford shooting the gun for his Eldritch Blast. I think this is a totally fine card. Normally it's like a 4 high for 5 as we seal a 2 diff ready foundation. Question mark.
I think this card's fine as well. I think the big thing here as we go further down with most of these cards, this is a low block that is a spell bolt. That matters if you're forward. The blitz itself doesn't really matter in my opinion unless we're playing like a high difficulty defensive card. I think this with like an ultra regen feels pretty good because you're not using ultra regen on your turn, but it feels pretty good on your because you can seal them for yours and get the damage. I don't know what like 3 diff that would fit that same bill that you don't want to use on your own turn or have the ability to at least. But yeah, it's neat. I don't think it's anything to like cry about, but I think the low block and having the word Spellbolt on it is meaningful for people that want to play forward.
Fair.
Up next,
we've got Ensorcelled Slash. Learned how to say that. 4/3, 2 low for 5 spell, weapon, 3 high block, blitz. If there's a sealed card in your stage, this is deck against throw. We've done it. Yeah, this is rad. It's just a 5 damage throw as a 4 diff. But it's got a little work to do in order to get there. Normally you are not sealing at form speed. That's a little tough to make happen. So this is essentially like another one of those fake 5 diffs as I want to play an attack first, such as the Arcane Spellbolt, seal my thing, and then now this is a 5 damage throw, but that doesn't mean it's a 5 diff, right? And so there's a little work that you have to do to get this guy up and running. I think he's fine.
I think this card's actually quite good for everyone that likes forward. I think this card's very good because the character seals on face, and also it has a combination of keywords that does matter for that deck, which is spell and weapon. The fact that this is a 4 diff worst case scenario lead. It being a mix-up low, I think, also matters. But it being a spell weapon does matter for his ultra rares, so I think this card's actually pretty good.
Move on. The juxtaposition of these two pieces of art is incredible. Hexing Spellbolt, 5/3, 4 low for 6. A lot of lows in his kit, huh? EX3 range spell. Response after this attack deals damage, your rival sacrifices a ready face of foundation and builds the top card of their deck. It is built in ready. It's like the world's weirdest. They flip a ready foundation because it breaks it.
Yeah.
and then they rebuild one off the top. But maybe like there is a lot of unflipping synergies that happen inside of this set, and so the fact that they have to it's better than making them flip because they could just unflip. But the fact that you get rid of the foundation altogether, maybe that thing that we built down was actually an attack. Well, now I just don't have that option to unflip that. If I do, it's also gone. So I think in the idea of playing this in Spotlight or Sealed or whatever, I think this is a really cool way to fight against the chaos, the Earth symbol's unflipping identity. It's neat. It's a 5-diff though, which is scary.
It is a spell bolt, has EX3, that makes it a fine finisher. It is a low attack, like you said. I think it's just missing the weapon keyword for our deck, so that's a little rough, at least if you're trying to play forward. I agree the response is a little awkward. It does synergize with also destroy effects, so like cards like Luna Ring scale with how many total cards have been destroyed. This does trigger that by doing a fake flip, like you said. I think it's just a bit too expensive for my taste for the 5-diff. By also being kind of anti-synergistic, so
dope. Merciless Lead, sick art, holy cow. 5/3, 4 mid for 6, range tech weapon, 2 high block blitz. Choose any number of players. Remove the top two cards. Remove the top two players. Remove the top 2 cards of each of their decks. This does trigger all of the, if you've removed a card, things that we've talked about in a previous video on the air symbol stuff. Dope.
Yeah.
Just dope.
I think for that reason, it's very similar to, I've already forgot the name of it, but there's another 5-diff that does this. A similar thing, because you can pick yourself and then all of your stuff will trigger.
Yeah.
It is not a cost though, so it will not trigger combined firepower. But it being a tech with a 2 block, it has high base damage, which is good for characters like Percy. They really will enjoy this, so I think this card is actually fine.
Yeah, this one's dope. This one's sick. Pact of Wrath. Insane. This is not on a mat. It is a 4/3, 4 high for 4/2 high block fury spell. If this attack's damage is 8 or greater, rival effects cannot flip it or cause it to leave your card pool. Interesting word. Word here. Or wording of like what could make it leave. Response after rival spends 1 or more momentum. This attack is +2 damage, period. So if they have any sort of ways to defensively spend their momentum, it's just like instantly, I'll get +2 to my next check. Okay, well this is gonna get big. And then also Blitz, lose up to 2 health. This attack gets a speed for each health loss this way. If you lost 2 health in this way, your rival spends momentum, which means it also gets +2 damage. So it's just a 6 high for 6 4-diff. It's a great rare. I think the big thing that I think it might be missing is any sort of interaction with rage counters, for it being a Yasha card. But as an all-around way to make my rival spend momentum, and this thing just like be a 4-diff 6 high for 6, feels great. Feels super good.
Yeah. Fury keyword not irrelevant here. Bell keyword probably irrelevant with death on it. I think actually might be irrelevant. Aside from like forward support, but because it doesn't have weapon, I think we're good. But yeah, I think the Fury keyword on this, and like you said, at like minimum, as long as your opponent has a momentum, it's a 6 high for 6. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Stinging Blade. 3/3, 1 mid for 4, 2 high block, stun 1 spell weapon. Response after the attack is completely blocked, rival spends momentum and loses 2 health. This effect cannot kill them. I think this card is super, super dope. It's telling them that even if they full block, they still take half and spend the momentum, which means that you just like normally get the 4 damage. If they have the momentum, they're probably just gonna take it. And so like a 3-diff 1 mid for 4, stun 1, like as the opener, like I think this is a pretty decent enough card to like want to play.
Hold on, keep waxing poetic about it. Hold on.
Yeah.
I forgot. I got it.
Oh, you got the
I agree with you. Yeah. So it also has a pre-release promo, which is actually very, very beautiful. But I think the biggest thing here, as I've said for other cards and synergies, it has spell and weapon on it, which is relevant for Ford and his ultra rare. The fact that it's a 3-diff with high damage means that you want to play it already in a character that's giving it more damage, like Ford. So I like this card a lot, specifically in that kind of deck. But because it's a 3-diff, it's actually probably just going to see play in a lot of different places. And it doesn't specifically have to be like tied to Ford in that specific sense. Man, I thought I was going to be quicker, but
Yeah, it's
maybe
not
not.
working. I like this one. I am nervous about its space in a deck. I am nervous about how good it. I am nervous that other cards are going to push this out on the deck building screen. Yeah, that art is great. That is super good. Yeah, that's great.
Took a while.
That's great.
I think someone said in chat, Sungjin Woo. I think that's a fine place to put this card, actually.
Oh, sure.
I think
Yeah,
that feels
yeah, yeah.
pretty good, right?
3-diff weapon that you
3-diff
just like play
weapon.
the way at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Toga 3 probably even doesn't mind this, right? This is, in my opinion, people playing the other 3-diff weapon.
Cage
I
of
think this one's
Hell.
Cage of Hell. I think this one's way better.
Way better.
Because it has damned if you do, damned if you don't, and it's gonna response on play for the stun and has stun on itself. I think this card. I'm convinced. I think this card's great.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. To the grave. 4/3, 4 mid for 4 spell. Blitz. Discard a backup colon. So that's from your hand. This deck is +2 speed. Destroy a rival backup with 4 or less stamina. Period. And then Blitz. This attack gains powerful X. X equals the number of backups in your stage. There's a world where you're able to stockpile a bunch of backups in your stage and get a bunch of momentum and then spend that momentum in order to powerful, and it's a 4-diff 6 mid, hopefully, if I've discarded a backup for stuff. There's a lot of requirements that are asking us to go right, especially with the ability to just attack backups in this backup centric deck. I'm not looking at this card necessarily inside of something like Caduceus. I've not tested it, but when I look at this card, I go, is there like a 3-check bomb that I could want to play in maybe like a Beast Titan? That I'm playing Colossus, snagging my 2 momentum. I've built in a bunch of Titan backups because this does not ask you to play party backups. It asks you to play backups, and then at the very end, I slam this 4-diff. I check my 6 and then powerful it to the moon. There's my condition there. I don't know how good this is in Caduceus. I have not played it, but that's like where my mind goes to. Is this could be a finisher for a Beast Titan?
I don't disagree with you at all. I don't think I'm looking at this card at all for the top blitz. I think I am just looking at it for the bottom blitz.
Yeah.
I think the top blitz is only as relevant as however many people are playing backups. Because discard a backup from your hand for 2 speed is probably not good enough. But I think that bottom blitz is pretty good if you're already just trying to do all those things. And it having Death Attune mean it directly synergizes with you wanting to play backup decks because of cards like Death Rattle existing, and as we get to it later, Harness on Death. I think it can be a real deck build around. It's just about finding out who can do it.
Yeah. Collateral damage. I think this card's crazy, dude. 2/5, 1 mid block response tenacious remove after your spell or weapon attack deals damage. Selectively destroy 1 rival asset. Period. Deadlock enhance. Commit. Destroy 1 rival asset. Period. I hate your assets. Blow them up. The Mimic would not have been changed if this card existed last format. Full stop. This Mimic would not have been errated if this card existed.
I think that's kind of what you're getting at, and where I agree with you. The fact that I think in UFS of the old, we had a lot of more like non-attack ways to deal with people's assets. It feels like nowadays, Tam, the only way to deal with your opponent's assets are playing attack cards that destroy them or interact with them.
Yes.
And here we finally feel like we have a foundation that as long as you're playing these 2 keywords, you can interact with your opponent's ones. It's tenacious. That feels great. It has a great block on it. This is a great rare for what it is doing.
I can just slam 4 of these in my sideboard and not feel bad that it's got a 1 mid block just to block with as well.
Yeah.
Like everything about this card, if you are playing assets, I'm allowed to hurt you for it.
Yeah.
It's great.
And I think that, with 2 asset centric characters within the set, there's a good reason this card will see play. Again, it only really works if you're playing spells and weapons, which is kind of a thing to jump through. But for those decks, this is a real ass answer for them.
Totally. Totally. Collecting components 1/5 to mid-block. Enhance, tenacious, sacrifice. This deck is -2 speed. This is just the
Shock absorption.
yeah, shock absorption. That's just all it is. It is like
It's literally the same stats, but it's
yeah.
death attuned, Tam,
Yeah.
instead of
Ooh.
3 symbols on it.
Ooh.
We already know this card's good. This card has always been good.
This card's great.
Yep.
Is this Pike in this picture?
It looks like it. I don't know any other. You would know better than me, but
So my issue is I think this is from like the Origins or whatever. She doesn't have her white hair, and I don't know why. There's a lot of pictures of Pike in this set where she doesn't have the white hair. If anybody in chat or anybody in the comments down below want to tell me when, where, how, why she gets her bleached hair, I'd love to know. I guess I'd have to like read the thing. Holy cow! Might be the sickest art in the whole set. 2/5, 3 mid block, call the week, enhance, flip, choose a backup, it loses 2 stamina. This card sucks. This card,
wait, hold on.
This card.
Let's pause.
This card stinks, man.
Pause. I don't think it stinks. It's not that good though. But in a world where a card like Death Rattle exists,
Yes.
if you need a way to get rid of more stamina on your own backups, this is a cool way to do it. Just saying. Because sometimes those stamina abilities don't spend enough of the stamina for you to kill them off. This is a way to do it. But you're right. For a 2/5 with a shitty block, it's not good. But it's not unplayable. Anyway, go ahead. Just move on.
This card sucks. This is the card I think people are not talking about. 2/5,
That's
3
fair.
low block, Dark Ward spell. Response flip after rival plays a responsibility on a card in their card pool. Cancel its effects, period. Every attack that has a responsibility is being played in their card pool. Do you have a problem with Lethal Slash? Dark Ward. No, you don't. Do you
Flip.
have...
It's just flip. Too.
Flip. Hey, knock it off. Do you have a problem with Breaker? Breaker is an ability that happens in the card pool. Knock it off. Pack-bound enhance.
Deflect. Nobody...
Deflect? Deflect is hand, right?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it's hand. I'm pretty sure it's
I
hand.
don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a cheater. Who knows?
Either way, Pack-bound enhance, loses 1 health, colon stack gets -1 speed, only playable if your character has Pack-bound. So if you're a Pack-bound, you absolutely, positively hate on responses. This card is so good. I think this card is going to see sideboard play minimum. I think this card is so. Do you hate Showdown? Boy, howdy, I do too. Showdown, knock it off. Don't turn my stuff sideways. Stop it. So good. So good. I think this card's absolutely
great.
Cancels Runaway. It does not. Runaway does activate from the hand. That is not a response in the card pool because you start the Runaway in your hand and whenever you play it. It has to be something that the ability starts while it's in the card pool. If that makes sense. There's gonna be a lot of rulings about action cards in this card. This does not cancel every action in the game, right? Every response action in the game. It only stops things that they start their activation in the card pool. Yeah.
I was trying to do a quick search of like a bunch of them, like a bunch of like attacks. So this would be really good against. But I mean, you said Lethal Slash. That is a good one. Oh, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Threat against the combo Deku.
Yep. Oh, did you try to make it the Flash? No. You don't get no. You can do the rest of no, stop it. Stops Goblin Revoke? Yes, it does stop the 3 diff Goblin card. Yes. Because that is a response happening inside the card pool. Great point.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think right off the bat, if you're playing a pack bound, which means you have death, you're playing this card. Lose 1 health for -1 speed is a real ass effect and has been historically in the game. So yes, I would agree with you. I think this card is just already going to be good, and that's without even looking at the top response. So.
True 100%. Yeah, or 200. Yeah, 200% power. Yes, that one gets canceled.
Smashing Stomp draws, bruh. Heat Ray response hits.
I'm sorry, did you want to respond and gain 2, draw 2 off of Rejuve? No, that's okay. No, that's all right. I'll flip Dark Ward instead. Macabre Regeneration, 2/5, 3 low block response commit. After you lose health to pay a cost, gain 2 health. This card's fine. You gotta find a way to lose the health in order to do it. And then how afraid of you are losing the health and you don't have the way to gain the health back outside of a 2/5, 3 low block commit card. I think it's neat. I don't think it cancels 200%. I bet it does.
I think the biggest thing here is like this is going to be very good for the characters that use their health as a cost, right? But the difference being is like I don't know how many of those care about the commit reusability to gain it back. Like at the end of the day, like Percy is allowed to play this card, right? He loses 1 for the bottom response on Percy, and this gains you 2 back for a net positive. As long as you're going to afford the committed foundation, great. But when you use the ability, you already made you and your opponent commit 1. So like, can you afford the committed cards?
Yeah.
That's the question. But you look at other characters like Mollymock, and this card I think is probably pretty playable on them.
Nymph's Invitation is such a funny card. 2/5, 2 high block spell, enhance, sacrifice backup, cold and stack is +3 damage. Now we're talking. If we are looking, if we gotta break our backups for something, this is how we're breaking our backups to make them nice and big. Death Rattle Beast is real. That's what I'm talking about. Nymph's Invitation is going to absolutely kill people with Death Rattle. This is the one we want, Barrett. This one.
Yeah,
this
is the one. I know it was, but we weren't here yet, so I had to try and wax poetic about the other one. Sorry, I'm still scrolling through cards for the Pact Bound guy.
It's so good.
Absorbed Energy Strike.
No.
It's no. Sorry, I should stop scrolling. But yeah, this one I think is good for that Death Rattle thing that you're talking about. And 3 damage is not something to like actually sneeze about.
Yeah.
The question is, how quickly can we generate these backups to make this card good? It just kind of depends, right?
100%. Survival of the Fittest. It is a 2/5, 3 low block response. Commit a foundation. After a rival loses health, gain 1 health. Period. That's very cool. And then response commit. After a rival's backup loses stamina, a backup of your choice gains 2 stamina. So this is, I can commit my whole stage of every time that one of my moves hits, I gain a health, essentially. Or every time that they lose 1 health. Paying health does not count as, or does paying health does count as losing health.
Yeah,
if my rival pays a health on Percy, I can commit a foundation to gain a health. Yes.
Yeah.
It does not count as taking damage. Yeah. And then just like healing up your backups is fine. It's fine. We don't pay health. Yeah, we do. Sorry, we lose health. Yeah. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. I think this is
So you said it doesn't work when they take damage? It does work when they take damage, right? Like it's just...
Yes. Yeah.
It's the same timing as all of Toga's cards, right?
There's a difference between taking damage and losing health, right? But this counts for both. This is totally fine with both.
Yes, it's totally fine with both. This is your opponent can lose health from either burn effects or from taking damage. That is losing health, right?
Yes. Or paying a cost, right?
Or paying a cost, correct.
Yeah, which is not technically a burn effect. Our game is dope. Struggle Fitness, I think this is a great card. Yeah.
I think it's fine. It also has probably the best flavor text in the entire...
Can you read that for me? I can't quite read it.
No, I can't read it.
Interesting. All right. Tranquility of Death, 1/4/3 mid block. Response at the start of your combat phase. Each player seals 1 non-character rival card. Is getting an errata. Otherwise, hey, no character. I won't play with one either. handshake.
What a cool way to play the game, though, if it was like that.
Yeah. Gentleman's agreement. We never play the characters.
Only on my combat phase. Yeah. Unless we both have a copy of this.
Yes. I think that this is a dope card. I like at the start of mine, I'm just going to selectively turn off your defensive pieces and then try and kill you for it. I think that's a very, very cool thing to do under the symbol.
that 2 low for 5, 4 diff attack that said if there's a card sealed,
It
it
becomes
becomes
a
a
throw.
throw. This is a way to
Yeah.
lead with that attack as long as you have one of these in there. I think this card is going to see play. It's just going to be a little fringe. I think this card is going to be very good in any of the aggro decks that don't care about any of their foundations while trying to kill you. You know who I think
100%.
of when I think of this, and they've seen some success recently?
Hmm.
Joshua Adkins, I'm talking to you. Mirko 2 sure doesn't care
Yes.
about most of the cards in their stage,
Yeah.
but would love to selectively seal a problem card that is on your opponent's side.
Chat saying Shoto 4, which I also agree with.
That's fair. Yeah, Shoto 4
4.
sounds great.
Yeah. This one is dope. I'm excited to see exactly how I can flex this one. This is also like really good sideboard piece of just like I could put 2 of these in the sideboard and be like, hey, I just want to like your foundations matter and mine don't. Your foundations are better than mine, but those 2 don't work. Like imagine playing this versus Ghidorah and they like build a couple copies of Relentless Challenger. You go, no.
Yeah.
No.
So
You take
that's kind of where I'm
moves for
at.
real.
It's going to be a fringe case, but there are going to be certain types of decks where their stage is the least important part of their deck, and this card will synergize with that because typically your opponent will have better cards, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.